Hey everybody, Brendan from Cyclists PT. Just want to do another quick video for you. So I get a lot of questions from people about foam rolling and what they should do with a foam roller. The foam roller is a great tool. You know, I think some people overused it for a while, but it really does have some great uses, and they're super accessible and pretty cheap nowadays. So you can get one no problem, and they're a nice way to add a little bit of self-massage into your routine, you know, your stretching workout routine to help alleviate some trouble spots. So we'll give them a try. We'll do a couple of the exercises I like best with the foam roller and see how you like them. All right, so one we're gonna start with is for the upper back, so the thoracic spine. Now your thoracic spine is what all your rib cage comes off of. So it tends to be a lot less mobile than your neck or your lower back, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't move at all. And for most people with desk work, cycling, driving, whatever you do in your daily life, we tend to be very tight in that area. And that can lead to some problems where that lack of motion in the thoracic spine leads to problems in your neck or shoulders or somewhere else. So if you experience some tightness, upper traps, lower part of your head and the base of your skull, this is a great one to add in after you've worked out, or even just totally separately during the day. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come on your back with that foam roller horizontal, and you're gonna lie back on it. You don't wanna go all the way down to the lower back. Stay on that thoracic rib cage part of your spine. And you're just gonna kind of roll up and down a little bit. You can lift your bum up if you like, or you can keep it down depending on how much pressure you like on that spine. But you're just gonna work and try to find some tight spots in there. Working through some of those muscles, but also really trying to open up. If you find a tight spot, if you find a joint where it feels really stiff, it's good to kind of sit on it. You can even put your arms up over your head here. Just try to arch that back over that pivot point of the foam roller. So you can kind of see if you've been sitting at a desk all day, this really gets you out of that position and helps you open up in a way, stretching in a way you couldn't do without the foam roller. So that's one. You know, you want to sit there, there's no real time limit. I'd say 30 seconds to a minute is what most people will like and most people tolerate. So that's the first one, a nice thoracic foam roll. Okay, so next we're gonna work on, you know, I think this is the classic IT band stretch using the foam roller, okay? So the IT band is a tough band of fascia running from your hip down to the outside part of your knee. Tends to cause trouble in runners. Cyclists can also experience difficulty with this, where we have tightness on that outside part that leads to knee pain, issues there. And this foam rolling, I think, really does draw attention to that area and can help you be mindful of it. In addition to some stretching, some strengthening techniques, this can be a nice little adjunct to add in as well. So what you're gonna do, you don't wanna roll all the way up onto the bony part of your hip. Stay on that softer fascial part of your hip in the outer thigh. The top leg straight out or bent, whatever you like. Bottom leg is gonna be straight out like this. And you're just gonna try to roll up and down. Stay off those bony spots, okay? Those bony spots are not gonna like having the foam roller putting too much pressure on them. But you can go really all the way down to the knee, right above where those bones start, and all the way back up. And depending on how much pressure you like, you can have both hands down, one hand down, and you can bring that other leg up if you really want to drive some pressure onto a knot or something that you find. But really think of this as kind of, you're getting a massage without having to pay a masseuse. That's sort of what a foam roller does. You know, it's not, it doesn't replace stretching, it doesn't replace strength training, but it can definitely be a nice adjunct, providing some of that same benefit that a massage would do for a fraction of the cost. But it also definitely doesn't replace the massage. Okay. So you do both sides there, rolling up and down. You know, you're really trying to get all the way from the base of the knee all the way up to the hip. And you're gonna find everybody has different tender spots in that area. So find where you're tender and really do some work there, okay? All right, so we're gonna check out a nice foam roller use on the calves, okay? So calves, whether you're a runner or a cyclist or any other type of athlete, your calves usually take a beating. You know, whether you're a cyclist and you're just sitting in that flexed position all day, just pumping away on the pedals, runners tend to get a lot more explosion, the plyometric activity out of their calves. And if you play any sort of sport that includes jumping, running, bounding, your calves are gonna thank you if you give them a little TLC here. So what I like to do here is cross my legs. You might not like that much pressure. You might just want to do one leg at a time, or like so. But on your back, that calf resting on the foam roller, you're gonna kind of roll from that Achilles tendon all the way up to the back side of the knee. The back side of your knee is not nearly as bony as the front side, so you don't have to be quite as cautious rolling up nice and high here. But the higher you get, you're gonna be on more, you know, soft tissue like nerves and blood vessels and things like that. And it's not gonna feel as good as when you're really rolling on that muscle belly in the calf. So make sure you're working through. Try pointing your toe out to the right, turning it in to the left. Getting those opposite sides of that bipinnate muscle there. So your calf muscle is bipinnate, meaning it has, you know, two sort of areas that branch off that Achilles tendon in both directions. So you really want to work both sides. If you just do straight ahead with your toe pointing up towards the ceiling, you're not getting the whole muscle. So really try that rolling in and out. If that pressure isn't enough for you, cross your legs. Really get a lot more body weight on there. It's also a pretty good arm workout here. All right, but definitely give that a try, both legs here. Because doing that little bit of foam rolling makes a big difference. Good. All right, so that's the calves. That's another nice one, whether you're a runner or cyclist or whatever else. It feels really good, kind of giving those calves a little TLC. All right. Now this one I really like for cyclists in particular, using this foam roller. So the front side of your thigh, you know, your quad muscles. Obviously as a cyclist, you're gonna use those a lot during each and every pedal stroke. But you might also want this if you're not a cyclist, if you're somebody who lifts a lot of weights, if you do a lot of stairs for whatever reason at work or something else, and for whatever reason those quad muscles tend to get really tight on you, this can be a nice one to throw in. So you're gonna have the edge of the foam roller close to you. So you don't want it all the way across like this. You kind of want to be on one side. So if you're looking at it from the front, not all the way across, kind of one leg at a time here. What you're going to do is you're going to start on all fours and drop it almost like a plank position here. Get that foam roller underneath the thigh there. And then this other leg kind of frogs out to the side. And then from here, you're just sort of rolling up and down. Similar to like how we worked on those IT bands. Stay off the bony spots, try to stay in the muscle belly. You might have to move the foam roller along. If it gets stuck or goes up too high on you. But that's what this one looks like, getting the quad muscles. You try to find those tight spots on you. Okay? We switch it to the other side, so the other side looks same sort of thing. You know, you want the shorter end facing you like this. That left leg's gonna sort of frog out to the side, starting here. This is what it looks like sort of from the other end, the other side. Going all the way down to just above the knee, staying away from the bony kneecap. You don't want to roll over that kneecap. Does not feel good. But give it a good 30 seconds to a minute on each side at least. You can do a little more if you can tolerate it, but for most people, a minute's gonna be more than enough. Find those tight spots, you just kind of hang out on them for a little bit. I really like self-massage because it makes you a little more aware of where your body's maybe holding tightness, holding tension that you don't recognize until you really put some work in on it. There we go. So, there we go. All right, so that's quads. You know, so we've done quads, we've done IT band, we've done calves, we've done upper back. There's tons of different options that you can do with foam rolling, but those are some of my favorites, and especially for cyclists. If you're a cyclist, these are some of my favorites here, but really they're good for anybody. If you have more questions about foam rolling or when you should or shouldn't be doing it, feel free to shoot me a message, brendan@cyclelifept.com. Check out cyclelifept.com, set up an appointment, a virtual consult. So if you've got more in-depth questions, always happy to help. A virtual consult is a great low-cost option to really get a lot of information and answer the questions you might be having. So happy to hear more, but give these a try and let me know what you think.